The next box on the HTB is vulnerable to the shell shock vulnerability. Part 2, exploiting shell shock. Shell shock is a vulnerability that was discovered in 2014 affecting Bash versions 1.0.3 through 4.3. Bash is a shell program in command language similar to PowerShell. Widely used in Linux distributions, it's all over the place. In the example, we will be using shell shock to exploit a web server running Apache. So I'm going to start with an nmap scan. That's generally what you're going to be doing as your first step in this type of CTF, a boot to root CTF. There's other tools, but this is the most widely used one. This time the IP is 10s with 56. That'll only take a few moments to run because I only did 2 ports. Typically I do a -p-dual 56,000 something ports, but the default actually runs on 1024, the common ports. So that would still run quicker than a -p-, but I like a thorough scan when I'm doing this. I don't mind being a little patient, unless I'm in a hurry like this. So we went over the options before. It does find 80s open and 2222. It mentions that it's SSH here. I'm not going to be connecting to SSH. I could later down the line if or when I get a user shell before privilege escalating to the root user. However, I'm just going to be using shell shock to facilitate all the shell stuff at the command line. So next, we can just visit the website. I've already done so here. It just says, "Don't bug me," and it has this guy. And that's it. I explored I viewed the source. I don't really know whether their folders or files are there, so I'm going to need to do something called directory busting. And for that, I'm going to use GoBuster. And because this VPN's slow, I already have the command entered. I even stopped it before it found the directory I really needed, because I tried rerunning this and I'm running out of time to record. It's like 4 a.m. So basically I'm running it as the super user with sudo and then GoBuster, that directory busting tool that can find files and folders. dir indicates that you're searching for files and folders. -q is for quiet mode. -u, it indicates that you're putting in the URL. -w is what you'd use to use a word list. I'm using word list built into Kali. The medium one's pretty big if you're on a slow network, but if you're on a local network, it can happen pretty quick. And then the -x is for file type, and I'm only doing PHP, HTML, and .text because it's a Apache server. In this case, that's all I really need. Then -t 50 for the amount of threads. So the next step is, because none of the other stuff really held any fruits, the server status was permission denied. This one will run quick enough. Because it's a CGI bin, I'm changing up the files I'm looking for. So I changed the directory here at the end of the IP address to CGI-bin, and then I changed the file types to CGI, PL, and SH. PL is Perl, SH is like a shell file, and CGI I don't really know much about. -t 50 for speed. Found user.sh. That's all that's there. Let's go see it. I'm going to go. The CGI bin is actually unavailable, so let me see just a moment. It's just CGI-bin. Oops, where am I clicking? CGI-bin, and then user.sh, and it downloads a file here. I've already done that a couple times. I'll look in the downloads. There's userfile.sh. I'll just cat the file because it's pretty short. And it says this is just an uptime test script. And basically, this is just executing the uptime command, which is a Linux command. And it appears to be periodically. And this is what we'll be able to exploit with the shell shock vulnerability. We're actually going to pass the user agent parameter to exploit this. That's something I found online when I was investigating shell shock, and that basically just determines like what browser you're using. Are you on like Firefox or Google Chrome? Like what version? It's used for that type of information, but in this case we can use it for shell shock because it's running bash. So basically, what's next? I'm just going to run an nmap to make sure that it is vulnerable. I did know to look into shell shock because the name is literally shocker, and in the description it says that it's vulnerable to shell shock. So I'm just running nmap again. SV for service, port 80 script, and it's an HTTP shell shock script. And then script args, the URI is the path here, and then the IP. It shows, hey, vulnerable, exploitable. So it might be exploitable. Let's see. Could be a false positive. Who knows? So I'm gonna use a command. It's a little bit intense. I was able to find this by looking up public exploit code posted on exploitdb. You'll also be able to find commands like this on like GitHub or on walkthroughs for this machine and stuff like that. But yeah, this is available on exploitdb. You can actually just like use searchsploit like this, like searchsploit to search it locally on Kali, and then like ms17010, and it'll show stuff you can grab. It's really cool. So, or you can Google it. That works too. So here we're just curling and passing the user agent and doing this really confusing stuff with echo echo, invoking bash, and the command cat password, which is gonna basically paste the contents of the etc passwd file. And what that does is it shows a list of usernames and some other information, but really what's important to us is it shows what users are on the workstation. The etc shadow file is actually the one that holds the password hashes. So we can run that and we can see there's a user called Shelly and all the other like the default counts, and there's root. Yeah, like no logon, bin false. Okay. Yeah, this one, bin bash, home Shelly, 1000. It's like the one user. So what we can do next is we can invoke in a bash session and have that machine reach out to this computer. So I'm going to set up a netcat listener by using the nc command, and I'll do nc nvlp, and then for this example I'm actually going to do 443 just because that's usually the HTTPS port. Just to be sneaky, this is obviously just HTTPS traffic, so nothing to worry about here. And then I have it ready so I can just copy paste it. Oops, I did the wrong thing. I am copying this and then I'm pasting it over here. Alright, and yeah, this time instead of the catting the etc shadow file, it's invoking an interactive shell session, and this dev TCP IP address, this is my IP address and the port on the listener that's going to catch the shell. And then this is some bash redirection stuff where 0 is std in and 1 is std out. And then here is the IP address with the file path to the user.sh. So we'll run that, and I hope it works, or else I have to start over. Here we go. We got it. Who am I? Shelly. We're already running as her. That's cool. I don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to be quick with it. This privilege escalation is actually really easy. You can just use sudo-l to see what sudo permissions Shelly has, and it does show that she's able to use Perl, user bin Perl, root, no password. You can actually go to a website like GTFO bins. It's really easy to look up. What exactly is it? Here it is. Then I can do Perl, and then the command I got, this is where I got the command. If you can use Perl as sudo, you can just execute a shell session. Oh, I think this isn't, I think I need PTY though. First I'm going to need to make it interactive with Python. Might not work without it. Okay, that's just a command you can copy paste if you're getting like a no PTY error. I'm going to skip that part. It seems like I didn't need to, but I did it anyway. So here we go. Executed Perl as admin. Now who am I? Now I'm root. I can cd to root. Look here, cat root.txt. Bam, that's it. Finished. I'd have to get the user one too to submit both the flags. So yeah, I mean, including this one, I've completed 46 boxes so far. I haven't really done a whole lot for a really long time, and I've taken a bunch of notes on like several different courses online, more than several different courses. So I have like a huge trove of notes. Some of what I showed in the last presentation was just like a compilation of it. Basically, what else was I just going to finish up with? Yeah, one day I want to finish my certification. Maybe this presentation will motivate me to want to start studying this stuff again. It's a lot of fun. I had a good time. I literally stayed up all night, got zero sleep. It's 4:15 a.m. And yeah, thank you very much for being patient.